After a night of fun, a group of Idaho University roommates made their way to their off-campus home. Unfortunately, this would be the last night that they would spend together. You see, in the early hours of November 13th, 2022, 4 of these friends were brutally stabbed to death in a gruesome home invasion. It took police weeks to name a suspect, but using DNA found at the scene, cell phone records, and surveillance footage, they eventually narrowed in on a suspect, 28-year-old Brian Koberger. He was eventually arrested on December 30th in his Pennsylvania home. Apparently, though, somebody had figured out who had committed these crimes long before the police even named the suspect. It was a TikTok psychic by the name of Ashley is in the Book of Life. This TikTok psychic began throwing out wild accusations, claiming that she knew who was behind all this.
This is the teacher who potentially had the 4 Idaho students killed. She's the one who ordered the execution.
What came out in Rebecca Schofield's reading was how she implemented it, how she planned it, and why.
Her targets were Kaylee and Madison.
No, I did not just see her picture and name on the University of Idaho history page and then automatically feel it was her. This is not a feeling, this is knowledge.
She's literally just dropping a whole lore story right there.
Bro, as she said, these are not feelings, this is knowledge, bro.
How is she coming up with that crazy story?
Bro, she just brought out a pen and paper and started writing down the most elaborate story known to man. This shit just came off the top of the dome for her. Keep in mind, there is no evidence for all this. She did tarot card readings and boom, this image just popped into her head like somebody read this book to her.
The way she says it too so confidently. Like if I didn't know anything about the story, like I would think she was actually telling the truth.
She just goes, oh yeah, this happened, and then this happened.
But she wasn't even there. She doesn't even know the damn people.
Know these people.
The reason she's so confident in what she's saying is because she's a quote unquote psychic. And I get it. Some people out there believe in psychics, some people don't. If that's your cup of tea, fine. You know, people can believe whatever the hell they want to believe. But the reason we're talking about this though is because she clearly took things too far. It's an issue because she was talking about real people and throwing out these crazy and wild allegations that have consequences.
And judging off at the beginning of the video, you probably thought this was a serious murder case, but this lady dumbed it down to a whole nother level.
Ashley first claimed that she had cracked the case when she did a tarot card reading about the killer and had visions. She concluded from her quote-unquote visions that the killer had to be someone from the University of Idaho, more specifically in the history department.
The cards just kept saying history, history, history.
Apparently, that's what really stood out to her. History, history, history. And the name that stood out to her the most was Professor Rebecca Schofield. How the hell did she come up with this entire background?
How did she know this, bruh? Ain't no way no tarot cards, no visions be telling her this, bruh.
She is telling the story like it's real. Again, like it really happened. It's what trips me the hell out. And this wasn't no like one little video. This was like a whole 7-10 part first initial story. Overall though, she ended up making over 100 videos on this case.
Dude, this poor lady, bruh. She was just minding her own business and got accused of being a murderer.
She was accused of being a murderer and gay, bro. She was accused of having the relationship with one of the students. That's why she committed the whole crime.
Bro, what the fuck is going on?
Basically, Ashley was saying that a history professor named Rebecca Schofield had a love fling with her student, but because the student didn't want her anymore, she convinced another student named Jack to quote unquote kill her so that their love fling could be a secret. That was her accusation, and she had no evidence for this other than her tarot card readings and her visions.
Rebecca was highly interested in Kaylee. She spent a lot of time fantasizing and thinking about her. They may have had some sort of fling.
Who can make this up, man? Hey, she got some talent. I mean, she can create fictional stories.
She's creative.
Yeah, I mean, that crazy mind of hers can go on visions and dreams, so.
I bet you she could write up a whole Harry Potter series.
Bro, she can make 100 Harry Potter books with this type of like story. Jesus. But why? Why?
What's crazier is that the TikTok psychic then doubled down on everything and made a whole entire video on just Jack.
And Jack the core killed the other 4. Now, Jack's motive was not that he was so mad at his ex. It was for money.
How the fuck does she come up with this? Dude, it's delusional. It's complete delusion.
Okay, we have to point this out. So she's getting this information because the police is putting this out to the public. While she's hearing this, she's going along adding it to a story so it'll fit and it'll all come in a nice bunch. Lady, no, that's not how it works. Things actually happen. You can't just make up things.
Again, we can't stress it enough. There is zero evidence to back up what Ashley is saying. You want to know what this is the equivalent to?
What, bro?
Give me your friend's name.
Akil.
Okay, Akil. Let's just say Akil got murdered. And then I went on the internet and then I started being like, Andrew knew Akil. and they had a little love fling going.
Whoa.
But Andrew didn't like that.
Hey, what?
So
Hey.
Andrew decided
Hey,
to
yo,
kill.
Yo!
That's what it's the equivalent
This
to.
did not happen. This did not happen.
So the professor, Rebecca Schofield, finally seeing this completely fabricated story told about her, sent the TikTok psychic a cease and desist letter. Instead of taking that cease and desist letter seriously, this is what the TikTok psychic did.
Because it's the man letter Rebecca Schofield attorney sent me by the tissue so I can wipe my with it.
Any normal person, I feel like, would end things there.
But not this lady. No, not her.
The TikTok psychic didn't think Rebecca Schofield was serious about suing her, but she was. The TikTok psychic even went on the news and she was super cocky about being right, and people were actually believing her. Because of how confident the TikTok psychic sounded, police actually launched a mini investigation into everything that she was claiming. And guess what they found? Nothing. Nothing. Because it was all made up.
No way.
Who could have seen that coming?
Whoa.
Rebecca Schofield's name was easily cleared because she wasn't even in Idaho at the time. And this was when the police finally arrested 28-year-old Brian Coburg. But did the TikTok lady stop her shenanigans and her wild allegations now that she knew that the cops had an actual suspect?
I'm gonna take a wild guess and say no.
No.
Since they have the inability to understand it, I'm glad it can be me.
To make a long story short, Rebecca Schofield ended up actually suing Ashley, and Ashley had to respond to the lawsuit, but she didn't, which meant that she automatically lost. The TikTok psychic failed to respond, and the court granted Rebecca Schofield's motion. However, though, the court ended up giving the TikTok psychic an extension. So it seemed like she was basically running from her lawsuit, which is crazy because she seemed super confident about winning the lawsuit, and she said that she had all this evidence and this and that, but then when it came time to actually man up and defend herself, she didn't.
To now being even scared to open her mouth because she knows she's gonna get in even more trouble.
Yeah, I feel like she just wasn't taking it seriously. I feel like she didn't actually think she was going to get sued. That's why she was running her
Because
mouth.
I don't think she lives in the real world, bro. She lives in TikTok's world. That's her own little thing. She only knows her behind the phone and people on the other side, you know? She never expected the people behind the phone are real and can actually do something about it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's almost like having a credit card, running up the credit card, but then when the bill comes due, you run away and you don't want to pay it.
Oh, bro, I've been there.
I feel the TikTok psychic could have just avoided all of this had she just stopped at the cease and desist.
Not even there, bro. She could have avoided this had she not included herself in the situation.
That's true. That's
she
true.
doesn't even live in Ohio. Idaho, sorry.
This whole thing gets absolutely messy, convoluted, and honestly, dude, it was so much for my brain to like comprehend. So you guys don't have to go through that pain. Ashley basically just claimed that the lawsuit should have never happened. She didn't want to take any accountability. All the while, she was still doubling down on everything she was saying. And mind you, this whole entire time, the real suspect is behind bars. Ashley didn't want to be wrong though. No. She went as far as to claim that Rebecca Schofield had framed the suspect and that the professor was his accomplice.
Bro, her ego and her delusion of trying to become a real psychic doesn't let her put a stop to this, man.
Do you think she's trying to keep up her reputation as a psychic, or you just think she's a pathological
Yeah,
liar?
she's trying to like prove a point to somebody out there so that they actually believe that she's a real psychic, even though anybody with a sane mind could clearly see she's a fraud.
I kind of honestly more believe that she was just a pathological liar.
Really?
I don't really think she's trying to defend her whole psychic thing. I just think she's a pathological liar.
Bro, at this point, we should be like expert of analyzing these people.
So again, this entire thing is a friggin' headache, but what's been happening in this case is Ashley decided to represent herself. She tried to subpoena the professor for her entire digital footprint. She was claiming that the lawsuit was an injustice. She filed a bunch of counterclaims, which got nowhere, and then she threatened to sue people who covered her story. Now, I'm gonna give her some credit here. Can I give her some credit here?
About what?
Because regardless of what you guys believe or don't believe, she is standing by what she believes. To her credit, in all the videos that she has made, she has never once admitted a guilt. She has not taken accountability, and she's doubled down on her version of the story multiple freaking times. She really believes
what she is saying. While I don't think that's the truth, I gotta give her credit for it.
Bro.
She's not backing down, bro.
Every day, Thanos looks more and more right, bro. I guess to what you're saying, even if her belief is stupid and idiotic, she stands with it. And I guess there is some sort of respect in that level of being able to stand up what you believe in. But she is clearly in the wrong. We can all agree that.
She can't stand being wrong, and she doesn't want to admit that she got it wrong. There are people in this world like that, dude, that like they can't stand being wrong, and like even though they got all the facts and evidence right there, dude, they will not admit it. They'll be like, nope, wasn't me. I didn't do it. What I say is right. This, that.
In a way, the modern world has like coddled people to like not experience any type of wrongdoing or pain, to where people nowadays just all want everything perfect to line up their way and that they should be right always. When that's not the case, you fail, you lose, you're wrong sometimes. You just gotta own up to it.
I think honestly, at this point, the only thing left for her to do is to whip out those tarot cards in court.
Like they damn Uno card. Like you got that Uno reverse. The fucking Exodia from Yu-Gi-Oh!
As a sidekick, she's gotta already know the outcome to this, bro. Maybe there's a reason why she's standing up and doubling down, because she already knows the outcome to this.
You know what, guys? We just waiting for her to win. That's it. She gonna end up on top. Yo, she's thugging it out, y'all. She's thugging it out.
It's just common sense, bro.
It's just common sense.